That's all good. So, I have a couple of things. I want to briefly talk about the high scorers. I think I'm going to do this every week, maybe. I put a flex. I broke it down into my flex. So this could have been tight end. It could have been running back or a wide receiver. Good God. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Good God. Tyreek Hill had 45, and number 3 was Jalen Waddle with 40.1 in my league. Stephon Diggs, though, at number 2, it's not to go avoided that Stephon Diggs is he might have been the steal of the draft because that Buffalo team is legit. And it's not going to get worse. It's going to get better. And I was blown away by Stephon Diggs as well, 44.8. He almost got to that Tyreek Hill 45. But another one, number 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Wow, 39.4 points in my league. Just was the number one target for Jared Goff. It seemed like I was playing him in one league, so every time he did it, I was like, God damn it. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, legit number 1. Yeah, it's a very good pickup if you got him, especially if you got him late. I hate the guy that got it. The guy that beat me. He's like, oh, theory running back theory doesn't work. Listen here, bud. I would have beat a lot of teams with 158 points that I scored. You just happened to score a lot of points. But I had Tyreek Hill. I had good things going on. If Devontae Adams does better, if Joe Burrow does better, you suck my egg. But yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then it went Nick Chubb. Had a great game, 32.3. Aaron Jones had that great game, 32 points. Cooper Kupp, 31.8. Garrett Wilson coming in there, cracking that top 10 of the week. That's pretty awesome with 30 points. Christian Kirk had a great game, 25.8. Mark Andrews, 25.7. Mike Williams started off the week with a great, we almost thought like, man, who's going to do better than Mike? Little did we know. Mike Williams, 25.3, and Amari Cooper, 25.1. Definitely seemed like the weapon of choice for Jacoby Brissett. And we knew that. I just don't trust Jacoby Brissett, so I didn't want to draft Amari Cooper. But if you've got him, start him because it definitely seems like they're going that way. And the quarterbacks was bizarre for me to write this list down. I just wanted to see the quarterbacks. If I would have told you this is the top 10, okay, this is who's going to fill in the top 10 during the week 2. Tua will be number 1. Lamar Jackson will be number 2. Maybe you would have said okay to that. Jalen Hurts number 3. Okay, you might have said okay to that. Joe Flacco will be number 4. You would have said I was high, which I am. Joe Flacco number 4. Josh Allen number 5. So Josh Allen behind Joe Flacco in my league. In a game where Josh Allen went the fuck off. Jared Goff at number 5. Oh, I'm sorry. Jared Goff at number 6, 34.04. Carson Wentz, how crazy is that? Number 7. Number 8. So ahead of Justin Herbert would be Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. You would have said, you're out of your fucking mind. And then Kyler Murray's behind that. Matt Stafford behind him. Derek Carr was after that. Trevor Lawrence was after Derek Carr. And then it's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is after Trevor Lawrence. He's after Carson Wentz and Jared Goff and Joe Flacco. You said you're a fucking high. But here we are. I am fucking high. And this is what happened. But yeah, the other thing that we got to get to is next week. We got to get to week 3. I'm going to try to go quick here because I know it's been a 3-hour podcast, as usual. That's what we do here at the Waiver Wire. You're not here for a short time. You're here for a long time. And I'm here for a short time, not a long time. No, that's not it. Anyways, Thursday night football is going to be Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Not the greatest game, right? Not wild about it, but it is what it is. I think it's Cleveland is a 5-point favorite at home. I'm not happy about it, but I'm taking Pittsburgh on the road. I think with the spread, I think that they should keep it close because they are two bad teams that have been in some close games. Pittsburgh, they were in that New England game, so I think they should actually win outright, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh with those points, with the 5 points. I think it's at least maybe a 3-point game. I don't know if they win or lose, but should be a of a Thursday night. Don't really give a fuck too much. But start Amari Cooper. Houston at Chicago. Chicago is a 2.5-point favorite at home. I don't know why I'm doing this again. Maybe because they lost. Maybe last week I picked the Texans and they lost, so maybe that's a good strategy. Maybe that's why I'm doing this. I am picking the Texans to win outright. I think they unfortunately do win this game. I'm not big on Chicago. Y'all know I haven't been big on Chicago, and the way they played against Green Bay was just pathetic. And if that's what they're bringing to the table, then they definitely aren't going to win. They're not going to beat a scrappy team in Houston. Houston has kept them to some close score games, so even 2.5 might not be enough for even if Houston loses, I might still get it with the points. But I'm going to take them on the road. Las Vegas at Tennessee. It was too late because Tennessee played yesterday. The spread was not on ESPN when I did it last night, early in the morning. But I'm going to say that Vegas wins this game. I'm sure that Vegas is the favorite. I don't care by how much. They've got to get this win. Tennessee didn't look great last night against Buffalo, and I have to assume that Vegas comes out with a lot of anxiety to win this game. They have to win this game. So I think Vegas gets it done. I'm pulling for you Raiders, but I know that Tennessee will come and play hard as well. So I'm not super happy about it, but I do think they win. I'm going with the Raiders. Then we go Chiefs at Indianapolis. It might not even be that high of a this might not even be high of a number. 7 points on the road for Kansas City. With the way that the Colts have played, I think that's easy. I think this is a blowout the way that the Colts have been playing. I am definitely taking Kansas City on the road here. I'm with Vegas on this. I think that Kansas City gets this done, and I think they beat Indianapolis handedly. I'm going to say that until I see Indianapolis show me that they're an NFL team, because right now they're the bottom of the fucking barrel. Truthfully, I don't know who looked worse. Of the 0, and they're not even 0-2, they're 0-1-1. But of the teams that are that, I would say they are definitely the worst from the way they played. Buffalo at Miami. Wow, this is the first game that I start. I start 6 games here coming up in this next one of just games that I'm really excited about. This is definitely one of them, Buffalo at Miami, especially with what we saw Miami just do and what Buffalo just did. We're talking about 2 high-powered offenses with good defenses. Buffalo might have a better defense, so maybe that's what gets them the edge here. Maybe that's why I went with Buffalo. Again, the spread wasn't there because Buffalo played last night. It would be very interesting to see what the spread is, because it's got to be tight. They've got to put some respect on Miami's name now, but I would assume it's going Buffalo's way from the way they played. I'm going to take Buffalo in this. I think Buffalo wins, but I think Miami plays hard, and I think it's a great game. I'm excited for that in the early window. That should be a really, really good game. But I think Buffalo wins the game. And I don't know what that is with the spread, but go with that as you will to DraftKings and make your bets. That's not where you make bets at. Detroit at Minnesota. Another one that, because Minnesota played last night, there was not a spread for me. I would assume Minnesota's a home favorite. But I'm going to take Minnesota in this. I feel like they have a bounce-back game against Detroit. I think it's a tight game, so depending on what the spread is, you might want to be careful on this, because I think Detroit is scrappy, and they've hung in there, and they beat Washington, and I think that they're going to keep this a close game. I wouldn't even be surprised if Detroit wins this game. I think this is one of those games that Detroit needs to win if they're going to make the playoffs. It's one of those sneaky games that they need to beat a good team, and they need to stack up some wins. So Detroit could possibly win this game. It's another one that I started, Detroit at Minnesota. I think it's a great game. I think Minnesota gets the win. Look for Justin Jefferson to have a big game. But yeah, Detroit at Minnesota. I'm excited about that. Baltimore at New England. Interesting game. I started as well just because New England is who they are, and they got to win this week, so they're 1-1. Baltimore is 1-1 after slipping that game away to Miami. Baltimore's a 3-point favorite on the road. I'm going to take Baltimore. Very interesting game. I think Baltimore gets it done just because of Lamar Jackson, and I think it's too much for him. And I don't really see a lot out of New England's offense, but let's just say this, though. If that secondary plays the way they did, anybody can get beat. So, maybe good idea to start Nelson Aguilar and Devontae Parker the way that Baltimore's defense played. But yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore on the road, 3-point favorite on the road. Cincinnati at the Jets. Cincinnati is a 4.5-point favorite. They're doing this to Cincinnati where they're making it to where it's hard for me to make these bets on them. I mean, I'm rolling with Vegas and I'm rolling with the Bengals, even though they're 0-2. But I am going to say that Cincinnati wins this game by a touchdown. I know that Broadway Joe, he has that capability. I saw it, but I think the Bengals desperately need this win, and I think they go into the Meadowlands and they get it done. And I'm going to take Cincinnati in this game. Of course, I'm riding with Swaggy Joey. Philly at Washington. Divisional game. Should be a close game just because of that. But I think Philly gets this win pretty easily. I know why. I don't know what the spread is because of last night, but I would assume Philly's the favorite after the way they played and the way Washington played. I'm going to pick Philly in this. I think they win outright, and I think it's by a touchdown at least. I'm not really sold on Washington, but should be a good game. Maybe deserves a star, but I didn't put one there. But it should be a good game. New Orleans is going to Carolina. This is an interesting game. I actually sat and thought about this for a while. Carolina 0-2. They've been in 2 close games. New Orleans 1-1. Very close game with Atlanta, and then got beat obviously last week by Tampa Bay. I think that I think Carolina is going to win this game outright. New Orleans being a 3-point favorite on the road. I'll take the home dogs here, as my friend Dana would say. And I think Carolina gets this win. I'm not big on Baker Mayfield or Carolina. I just think that it's a sloppy game. Maybe it's not a very high-scoring game. I think Carolina could squeak it out. So go make some money at mybookie.com. That's where it is. Mybookie.com, promo code FOLK the algorithm. FOLK the algorithm. That's with 2 O's. FOOCK. Jacksonville at the Chargers. Chargers are a 7-point favorite at home. Jacksonville played really well, so I actually thought about this for a while, that will they win by a touchdown? I think they will. All of this is contingent. Shout out Shark Tank. All this is contingent on the Justin Herbert. If Justin Herbert does not play, I think you might want to make a different pick here. And I'm sure the spread will go down at that point. I think the Chargers win this game, though. I know Jacksonville played well, and I know that they're a better team this year. But I think the Chargers have to make a statement here that they are one of the best teams, and they have to play really hard, and they have to go out and get this win. Probably should deserve a star as well. Jacksonville, Chargers, and Philly at Washington, both 2 good games, but I'm going to say the Chargers get this win by more than a touchdown. The Rams at Arizona. This is one that I starred because, especially with the way Arizona finished that game off, if they have that in them, Jesus Lord. But the Rams, they got back. They're a 4-point favorite on the road here. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams get this win. I think it's a decided win, actually. I'm not big on Arizona, and I think that the Rams defense has a lot of problems for Arizona. Their defensive line being one of them. If you're collapsing the pocket and making him run around, that's not necessarily always going to last. The secondary for the Rams is definitely better than the secondary for the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, would you say that football math is correct? So if you're making him run around like crazy with the Rams defense, you might get picked off. So I'm going to have the Rams win this game pretty handedly, more than 4 points. I realize they're on the road and that's tough, but that's why you go to mybookie.com. Atlanta at Seattle. I'll stop. No, I won't. Atlanta at Seattle. Seattle's a 2-point favorite at home. which is going to make me take Atlanta, scrappy Atlanta. I can't believe I'm saying it. I really didn't think they'd win very many games, but this is a winnable game. They've played better than I think Seattle has. Seattle got lucky with a Denver team that wasn't really ready in week one, and then they got exposed against San Francisco. So I think that Atlanta maybe pulls out a win here outright. And they're very scrappy. So I know why it's a 2-point spread, but I think Atlanta on the road. I can't believe I'm saying it. Green Bay at Tampa. That is in the 3:00 window, and I'm very excited about it. I want to see my guy, Tom Brady, go and get this win and shut everybody up. I want to see him throw the ball a lot to Brashard Perriman and Cole Beasley and whoever the fuck is out there. I don't give a shit. They're in a 2.5-point favorite at home. I think that being at home for Tampa Bay is a very big thing. They've been on the road in Dallas and now New Orleans. Those are two tough places to go play with tough defenses. Green Bay is not that defense. I'm going to give you a guess on who I'm going with here. Obviously, this is the Tom Brady hour. We're going with Tom Brady. We're going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't care if Mike Evans doesn't play. I don't care. It doesn't matter who your receiver is. Tom Brady's going to get you in the right spot. He's going to get you open, and he's going to hit you in the fucking hands because he's the fucking GOAT. Tom Brady wins this game. That is a big game, though. I'm excited about Green Bay at Tampa. San Francisco at Denver. That is the Sunday night game. That's a great game. I started that one for sure. It's going to be great to see Russell Wilson in this big-time game, and Jimmy G now with his first full week of practice as running as the number one and getting ready to be that guy. And, will Russell Wilson respond? Because this is when the lights are bright, and he hasn't played super well in the first 2 weeks. He didn't play well when the lights were bright on that Monday night game, week one. So here we go. San Francisco is a 1-point favorite on the road, and I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with San Francisco. I like Jimmy G. I think that offense looks well under Jimmy G, better than it did under Trey Lance. And I'm going for Debo, obviously. Let's go Debo. I don't know about Jerry Jeudy's injury. I know he went out of the game, but I don't know how serious it was. And if it's just Cortland Sutton, they became kind of one-dimensional. And, yeah, they beat the Texans, but San Francisco is a much better foe than the Texans. So San Francisco I'm going to take on the road in Denver. And then Monday Night Football is going to be the Dallas Cowgirls going to visit the New York Giants. The Giants are a 2.5-point favorite at home, and I'm going to take the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense is legit. Micah Parsons is legit. They get after the quarterback. I don't know how Daniel Jones responds to that. It's a close game. I don't think that it's a blowout by either side. I think Cooper Rush impressed me, and I think they can get this win. I think they can get this win and go 2-1, which who the fuck would have said that, being that Dak goes out in week one. But yeah, I think Dallas on the road, that's where you're going to go make your money. MyBookie.com.